Hey everyone, how's it going? In this video, we're going to work through an example involving using synthetic division to find the roots of an equation using the rational root theorem. The problem says, how do you use synthetic division to find all the roots of x cubed plus 5x squared plus 3x minus 9 equals 0? So in order to do this problem, we have to understand the rational root theorem. Now the rational root theorem says, all the possible roots that fit in here are going to be can be classified as the factors of the constant, which is right here, that negative 9, divided by the coefficients of the highest power term, which in this case is going to be 1. So what do we have? We have factors of negative 9 divided by factors of positive 1. So now what are some factors of negative 9? Well, we can have positive 1 and negative 9. We can have negative 1, positive 9. We can have positive and negative 3 as well. Now, for factors of 1, we can have positive 1 and positive 1, or we can have negative 1 and negative 1. So this represents the set of all numbers that could be the roots of this equation. So now all we have to do is test them one by one to see which one actually works to give us an answer. So we're going to set up the synthetic division. So to set that up, we're going to write down all of the coefficients. The coefficient of x cubed is 1. The coefficient of 5x squared is 5. The coefficient of 3x is 3. Coefficient at negative 9, well, that's just a constant, so that's going to be negative 9. And we're just going to draw a line underneath of that. So in here, we're just going to write down some version of this division. So just for the sake of it, let's try positive 1 divided by negative 1. So positive 1 divided by negative 1, that gives us a negative 1 over here. So now what we do, we drop this 1 down. Negative 1 times 1 gives us negative 1. Now we add these. So 5 plus negative 1 gives us 4. 4 times negative 1 gives us negative 4. Add these, we get negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 gives us 1. Add them, and we get negative 8. Now, since negative 8 does not equal 0, we know that negative 1 is not a root. So let's try again. We're going to rewrite it. We have 1, 5, 3, negative 9. And this time, let's try something like positive 1 divided by positive 1. So that's going to give us a value of 1 here. Let's see, we drop the 1. Now 1 times 1 is 1. We add these up, and we get 6. 1 times 6 is 6. We add them up. We get 9. 1 times 9 is 9. Add them up, and we get 0. So since we got a 0 right here, we know that 1 is a root. So we're going to remember that, and we're going to come back to it later. Now let's take a look at this 1, 6, and 9. Originally, the coefficient, the variable for 1 was x cubed over here, 5x squared, 3x, and negative 9. So what we're going to do here is we're going to drop all of the powers by 1. So we're going to have 1x squared, 6x, and just 9. And of course, this is a positive 6, so we're going to add, and this is a positive 9, so we're also going to add. So now we're going to do it the same exact way. I'm going to write down 1, 6, 9, and our goal is to end up with 0 down here. So let's see, what could the next root be? Well, it could be positive 1 again. We know it won't be negative 1 because it didn't work at first. It could be positive 3, negative 3, positive 9, negative 9. I'm going to try positive 3. So when I try positive 3, I'm going to bring down the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Add these up, gives me 9. Now 3 times 9 gives me 9. 3 times 9 gives me 27. 9 plus 27, well, that's 36, which doesn't equal 0. So 3 is not a root. Okay? Let's try that one more time. Let's try, instead of positive 3, let's try negative 3. So if we try negative 3 now, once again we bring down the 1. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. 6 plus negative 3 gives us positive 3. Negative 3 times 3 gives us negative 9. Negative 9 plus 9 gives us 0. So what can we say now? We can say negative 3 is a root. Okay. Once again, we're going to drop down the powers of the variables attached to these. So originally it was x squared, x, and no x. Now it's just going to be x and no x. And I'm going to try it one last time. So we have 1 and 3. And for this, I'm also going to try negative 3. So we bring down the 1. Negative 3 times 1 gives me negative 3. 3 plus negative 3 gives me 0. So negative 3 is a second root in this case because it appears twice. So ultimately, what did we find? We found that 1 is a root, negative 3 is a root, and negative 3 is a root again. So our roots, our roots are positive 1, and negative 3. So I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, let me know. And as always, happy studying. If you found this video helpful, please take a second to hit the like button or comment down below. If anything in this video was unclear, or if you had a question about any other topic, please don't hesitate to comment it or send it to me in a message, and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Thanks for your support, and happy studying.